For the carnal days you can't beat. Good book shows. That was a great holiday bash moment. Thanks, Tony. Thanks, guys. I'm John Recton with my review of AEW Dynamite Holiday Bash 2024 for the Entertainment and Sports Arena in Washington, D.C., our proud nation's capital. With shows like this, look, there were moments on the show that I actually didn't mind, and this certainly wasn't an entire lump of coal in our stocking. I don't know how many people were wearing stockings in the crowd or backstage. Not going to judge. I do hope that you guys are having a terrific holiday season, whether you're spending it with blood relatives or friends, or, friends can be family. You don't need blood to be family. I hope you're having a terrific holiday season. Now, I do want to say, I'm not sure if I'm going to review Holiday Collision. I don't know if I'm going to review the tape Dynamite or not. It just depends. I got a lot of work, and I might just take a week break. So if I don't review Dynamite from the Hammerstein Ballroom, I apologize in advance. I will, however, be reviewing the simulcast on Max and, for Fight for the Fallen and everything. I'll be reviewing that because I'm actually going to have that day off. Well, actually going to have that night off. Nevertheless, again, I hope you guys have a terrific holiday season. So, the Entertainment and Sports Arena had a 4,200 seat capacity and it had about 3,000 people. Run more venues like this and you will have a fairly hot crowd, or at least hot at times. So, Excalibur, Shivani, and Matt Menard on commentary. This is a lump of coal portion. Look, they're fucking awful. I'm sorry. And I know Shivani is there for old school fans like myself. Excalibur does not know what he's doing. Menard is super goddamn annoying. Somebody just needs to take him off a commentary and say, go find something to do backstage. He's not good. The energy is not infectious. At least not infectious in a good way. It's infectious like a case of syphilis spreading around the entire locker room. So here's Moxley and the ride sharers, or the share riders as it were. And then we cut to Renee with Jay and Orange Cassidy. I do have something that has been posted on podcasts and just something that bounced around in my head for a while. Why does nobody say to Renee, what the fuck is your husband doing? Has he explained any of this shit about why he's doing this stuff? What the fuck? What kind of goddamn employee are you that you're not even trying to stop this or trying to get him to stop this? Hangman shows up. Can they get along? Does it matter? No. Darby is up for the challenge of facing Will Ospreay. It's showtime. And then Will Ospreay says, well, it's a dream match. It's time for warfare. And nobody's better at warfare than an assassin. I think General Patton's probably better at that. But nevertheless, let's just move on from that. So we get the rundown of the Gold and the Blue League. Cool. MJF arrives in a very Hanukkah-inspired suit. More on him in a bit. So, we're starting with the women. Okay, that certainly was a choice. I didn't expect them to do that. I will say that the crowd was certainly a lot more into this than I anticipated. I'm not complaining. I do also want to say they could have shown a few more recaps of Mina Shirakawa dancing at that New Japan show. I wouldn't have minded. Certainly wouldn't have minded. She at least showed, see, Mercedes, this is how it's done. This is how you're supposed to fucking dance. Supposed to look like you have a personality. Mercedes took on AJ for the TBS Championship. I will say that, firstly, they cut a pretty good pace here. I mean, Mercedes has had better matches than AEW. She showed a bit more attitude, like, as far as being Sasha Banks. I still am not sold on her. I still say she's a waste of money. Anna Jay has honestly done very well, improving. That time in Stardom helped. The commentary, however, is show-killing. Mercedes then, hurled herself stupidly at the turnbuckles. Good tactic there. Mercedes was choking Anna violently, viciously from behind. I've seen that in a movie before. We get some good near falls. We get the Queen Slayer over the ropes, and it looks like Anna might have the victory, but she didn't. She got her arm bitten, and then she did manage to actually, she managed to cause one rope break on the former bank statement, but then got hit with a sunset flip buckle bomb, then got hit with the knees, and then got hit with the Moneymaker 1, 2, 3. I didn't hate it, but I still stand by every criticism I have said about Mercedes. And until she proves me wrong, she won't, because she doesn't have the drive to actually act like a genuine human being. Credit for her. She's getting a whole lot of money to basically slum it a lot. That being said, the crowd was into it, and you know what? If she's happy, whatever. It is what it is. FTR are at their house. They're not going to be cleared for the rest of the year. There are less than 2 weeks in the year, so just say, hey, we're taking a holiday break. And they have plans for the share riders, and they're not going to be coming alone. Top guy is out. MJF out in a Hanukkah suit, and he knocks the Wizards. To be fair, the Wizards have been dog shit for a while. And he talks about the greatest holiday, Hanukkah. Oh, by the way, Santa's not real. And they shot like one kid in the goddamn crowd. I don't know if the kid believed that. Whatever, it is what it is. Don't ruin the illusion for children. But then he says, I've got a fundraiser idea. Hit the music. They hit the music, and he said, hit the music again. So I don't know if he has tinnitus or whatever. But, it's like, would you be willing to help out this very, very, sickeningly, small yellow baby? And it's a doctored picture of Adam Cole, baby. Yes, with shrunken arms and everything. But the thing is, I'm going to finish this, and I'm going to talk about actually what I didn't mind about this. So, basically, MJF does this, and then Adam Cole interrupts him. And the mic wasn't all that great on the camera, because I was having problems hearing it. And apparently, I wasn't the only one. But he says, that you're going to try to go for that Dynamite Diamond ring, and there's going to be two men guarding it, Bennett and Taven. Bennett and Taven, who are good athletes, but have been made to look like goofs for months and months and months. So I don't know how effective they're going to be necessarily in the fans' eyes. But then it turns out, oh, look, Adam Cole's actually in the ring, and he tricked him. And then hit a few moves on him. And a few people in the crowd popped. And then Tony Schiavone said, that was a great Dynamite Holiday Bash moment. Yeah, fuck off, Schiavone. Seriously, what the fuck? Here's what I didn't mind about it. People say, oh, they're knocking Adam Cole, they're body shaming him and stuff like that. One, I think Cole might have been on board with this. Two, Adam Cole has not looked healthy. He has not looked like he is wrestler or, in-ring competition ready, like he's ready to be a wrestler again. He looks unhealthy. He looks frail, and I'm very scared that something is genuinely wrong with him, and I hope that I'm wrong. I hope he's going to be okay. But honestly, this wasn't that bad, and people were like, oh, he should just go back to NXT or go back to WWE. With as much time as he's missed as far as in-ring action and everything, and Tony doing what he's doing with Ray Phoenix, you really think he's going to let Adam Cole, baby, go? Adam Cole ain't going to be able to leave that company until 2030 at this rate, as he has been injured for quite a while. Also, he should just release Phoenix, because honestly, there's no reason to keep him if you're not going to use him. And I knocked WWE when they did, and I'm knocking AEW for doing it here. So, I didn't mind him making fun of how Cole looks, because Cole doesn't look healthy. He genuinely doesn't. So on Collision, after Jamie lost to Willow Nightingale, Julia Hart then attacked Jamie, and then Jamie was backstage saying, I'm going to serve you a hard, cold glass of haterade. I'm moving on from what I'm thinking. That's all I'm going to say right there. But, all right, she's going to do that. I don't know if this feud necessarily is going to be good. I'm actually leaning more on the side it's probably not going to be, but at least they're trying with the women's division. All right, they're going to have a match, by the way, January 1st, and I think they're probably going to continue it for a bit and to a big special in February. So I guess Omega is going to be coming back at some point in 2025 to AEW. I mean, he's going to be taking on Gabe Kidd, that unbelievable, pointless sack of shit that New Japan's pushing him, so no wonder their business is in the goddamn toilet. Check out my worst wrestlers list if you want to hear what I got to say about Gabe Kidd, but I don't get it. I have never gotten it with Gabe Kidd. I don't think that he's any good. I think he's adequate in the ring, but he just shouts and lets it all out and acts like he has Tourette's, which is unfair because Tourette patients have an excuse. Gabe Kidd just shouts like an idiot because he probably is a fucking idiot. I mean, he looks like he was an electroshock baby. like he was actually shocked out of his mother's womb. In fact, that would actually explain why his eyes were like that. Nevertheless, let's just move on from that. Omega versus Gabriel Kidd at at Wrestle Dynasty. Yeah, I'll watch Wrestle Kingdom and Wrestle Dynasty, but if you notice I haven't reviewed that much New Japan, there's a reason for that, because I just don't care. Speaking of not caring, I liked a couple of components in this match, but I have a hard time caring about this feud. The Christian Cage Hook stuff, or Hook, is not really working for me. Now, Nick Wayne was teaming up with Christian Cage. I like Nick Wayne. Glad he's getting featured. Kip Sabian and Shayna Wayne were there at ringside, and Hook and Shibata and his new brain were there, and they certainly had a tag team match. When Nick Wayne was in there with Hook, at least it was nice to see these young up-and-coming wrestlers, or these young wrestlers that are establishing themselves, doing some stuff. And Shibata can be the type to work with Nick Wayne and teach him some stuff. This Christian stuff just is not good. I'm sorry, it's not. Later, Kip ends up trying to do a distraction. Shayna then distracts the ref. To be fair, Shayna Wayne is very distracting. And we get the kill switch, and then Nick gets thrown on top of Shibata 1, 2, 3. See, his new brain wasn't activated yet, so he couldn't kick out. And then a Jericho package. If you've noticed, I've covered very little of what Jericho has done, because until Jericho basically either leaves AEW programming or drops over and turns, purple, I don't really want to deal with anything with him. And I'm not going to be watching that, Ring of Honor show. Why the fuck would I? So, him versus Cardona, that's going to be a choice. So, Bandito package. I mean, Bandito is back. So, Brian May says she is not a hero. And she, will take down anyone, and that this division is not alive and well because she stepped on everyone. And she will face Thunder Rosa in the Tijuana street fight at World's End and tells Thunder Rosa to bring her dad so she can take out 2 generations of the family at once. Bit much that, but okay. And that being said, speaking of stockings, I don't think Mariah was wearing any. And one particular person will stop thinking about that right now. Shivani brings up Ricochet, who is acting like he's in the Hurt Syndicate, but then the Hurt Syndicate comes out and beats the shit out of him because nobody likes to kiss ass. I mean, it is what it is. They're trying to give Ricochet personality. It's just not working because you can't give bald people like that personality. So, they kind of run him off and everything. Then Shelton took on the Meat Mortos. And a match that was fine. Meat Mortos actually has some decent hops and some pretty good agility and also some nice strength. He's a nice balanced package. It's nice when you balance the meep. By the way, I'm doing that so you never unhear it. And Meep targeted the knee. Shelton did do some nice power work. And we got 3 Germans, 2 knees, and that snap slam. 1, 2, 3. Meep at least fired up a bit, so that was nice. And then Lashley ends up attacking Meep. And then we get Shelton hitting a German. And then whatever happened to Meep, Roosh, and I think Dralistico joining, Jake's stable. Somebody told me they've been on Collision, but it's like I barely heard anything about them. Nevertheless, we really shouldn't care much about Roosh, because Roosh cost this company Stephanie Vaquer by backing up the person that was trying to hurt Stephanie. Good job, Roosh, you dumb son of a bitch. So anyway, here's Daniel Garcia. He wants to fight. And then here's Mark Briscoe. And they get in the ring and then they get beat up. And Shelton wants the TNT title. Fuck it. Give Shelton the TNT title. Garcia got his feel-good moment. Now put the championship on somebody that'll make it good. So, Ricochet then says he's not worried about the stuff with the Hurt Syndicate. He's worried about the tournament. And he talks about facing Will Ospreay on Saturday. Swerve shows up and says, oh, I knew the real Trevor would eventually show up because they're shooting now. And, yeah, there's that. And that's why Ricochet is so bald. Toni Storm talks to RJ City. She's the rocker. She has a split personality. I hope this works, but it's starting to wear on me. I'm for it. I mean, Tony is good at this, but I kind of over it. Ospreay and Darby did a bunch of Daredevil shit in their Gold League match, and look, I'm not going to lie, the crowd was into it, and they did impressive stuff. They also did about 3 different things that they could have done in a series of matches. They had one particular bump that could have led to a countout. They had one particular bump that could have led to maybe a quick pinfall where Darby could have said, next time, I'll get you. Will Ospreay took some serious bumps. But here's just a couple things that I noted. Because watch this match, you'll appreciate the action and everything if you're into that sort of thing. I didn't hate it, by the way. But Darby did a dive, and then Lair tried to do a coffin drop, but hit the apron. Because Darby is bound determined to die by the age of 40. Apparently he wants to climb Mount Everest again, so he will die before the age of 40. Code red for a very close to. And in a Styles clash to the floor sometime after that. Why? Why? For what end? By the way, not a count out, but somehow Darby manages to come back, eventually hitting 2 coffin drops and getting the victory. Even though Will pretty much did the Hulk Hogan WrestleMania 6 thing and kicked out of 3 and a half. Good job. But nevertheless, it was exciting. I can't deny that. What wasn't exciting was Dick the Boozer. Thank you very much to great Brian Last for that. I can't unhear it. I know that Moxley completed rehab, and I'm glad that he's okay, and I'm glad he's healthy. But hearing that, he's not Dick the Bruiser, but the Share Riders are here, and they took on Jay White, Hangman, and Orange Cassidy. Can they get along? It doesn't matter. Eventually, we get arguing between Jay and Hangman. Orange Cassidy gets rolled up, and then we get more beatdown stuff while Marina takes Mox away. There's the other lump of coal in your fucking stocking. This Moxley stuff is really, really bad. It is really apocalyptically bad. It's not helping the company at all. I don't know that many people necessarily like it. That being said, I may review Collision this weekend. It just depends. I don't know if I'm going to review Dynamite since it's going to be taped unless I decide to broadcast it live on Sunday. But nevertheless, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle, Letterboxd, and Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Rethlen, and I'll see you soon.